Well, hello, it's me again, Nicole Norton. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching my video today. Today's December 3rd, and it's been 1 month since my surgery date. And, it's been a very interesting month. Um, I, I'll start off by saying I've lost 18 pounds, and which ultimately isn't a whole lot of weight when you think about having weight loss surgery. And I'm not upset about that. Actually, it's my own fault, and so I wrestled with how honest should I be, and how much should I tell. But for me, the importance of these videos is to share an honest experience. So when I started this process and I got my surgery date, I had mapped out everything, what my meal plans or what meal ideas I could have. I knew that from, the 2 days after surgery, it was straight liquids. And so I was prepared for the liquids, and clear liquids, and I had them on hand. And I think I even showed you maybe in one of my videos, what I had prepared. And then days 2 through 14, I knew I was on liquids, but they didn't have to be clear liquids, and I had all that ready to go. And then the next week was pureed, and all of that. And so I was prepared, and I had the ideas of what I was going to eat during the pureed section and what I was going to eat on the moist section and all of that. And I did really great for the first 2.5 weeks. I was right on point. I drank what I was supposed to drink. But then when I moved into the puree stage, I got restless, and I got impatient, and I was tired of drinking liquids, and I didn't want, just a regular moist food. And so I started to experiment. And there was also a part of me, if I'm being real honest, there was a part of me that was worried about the dumping syndrome. And I've heard a lot about people being concerned about the dumping experience, and it started to really play a factor in my mind. And so probably towards the end of my pureed stage, I ate some meatloaf, which I made. And so, I wasn't worried that it was going to give me dumping syndrome, but, still a little concerned because it was my first time eating something solid in over 3 weeks and what have you. And it wasn't pureed, and it wasn't moist, it was past that. And then, I tried something else. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, I made some turkey chili. And I did puree some turkey chili. And while it looked disgusting, it was really delicious. And then, my mind was like, well, if you chew this really, really well, you can puree it in your mouth. Um, and then it just kind of tumbled from there. And so when I add that to my, concerns about what dumping was going to feel like, I just kind of went off the rails, and I started to eat things that I shouldn't be eating. And not a lot, but still eating foods that I shouldn't be eating, especially at that time in my process. The bad news is that I suffered no physical consequences. And so that made it even harder for me to stay on task, because there was no physical ramifications or consequences of eating something that I shouldn't have been eating at that point. And that really has led to where I'm at today, and having only lost 18 pounds, and not having a lot of energy, and being tired, more tired than I had been before. And so that's been my experience so far in this month. Now, I still haven't had any real negative consequences, with the exception of I made a turkey last week for Thanksgiving. I wasn't eating, any turkey or Thanksgiving foods, and so I didn't partake in Thanksgiving, and so I cooked a turkey this past week, because I wanted to make turkey noodle soup, and I wanted to make it from the carcass, and blah blah blah. So when I was deboning the turkey, I nibbled here, nibbled there, but I took too much, too fast, and I didn't chew it well enough, and consequently I got sick, and I got the foamies. I don't know if you've heard about the foamies, but foam would come up, and then I threw up a little bit, and then it happened again like a couple of days later, but I cannot for the life of me remember what I ate. I'm sure it was something I shouldn't have been eating, but I got the foamies again and threw up a little bit. So, it's been a month where I've pushed the boundaries past where I should push them. I ate things that weren't on plan yet. I suffered the consequences of not losing weight and feeling more tired than before. And, here we are, a month after my surgery, and, hopefully, lessons have been learned. Now, the thing is, though, is that if you think about it, this surgery didn't fix my issues with food. And it didn't, I didn't wake up from anesthesia, and I was cured of all of those all that crap in my head, right? None of that went away with my surgery. I still have to work on those things today actively. And so I think this month, or I know this month, has been a really big eye opener for me in how do I want to use this tool? Do I want to use it to its fullest capability and get my arms wrapped around my issues around food, and do I want to really lose the weight and get off the medications and not have the sleep apnea and live that healthy life? Or am I going to be one of the statistical numbers where it doesn't work for me because I go back to my old behaviors? And so that's the crossroads that I'm at. Now, I pray that I make the decision to stay on the healthy path and eat the way I'm supposed to eat, and do all of those things. But I know that it's not going to be just a matter of willpower, because if it was a matter of willpower, the weight I lost years ago I would have been able to keep off, and I never would have had any issues around food. So for anyone thinking that it's all about willpower, that has not been my experience. My experience is that I have used food for coping mechanism, and whether that's coping with boredom or feeling unfulfilled or unsatisfied, it depends on the day. There are times it can go back and forth and ping pong in between those two realities. So one of the things that I will incorporate starting next month then is, starting this next month into my second month, is, being able to swim. I did have one incision that has taken a really long time to heal, and I wasn't able to go into the pool until that was healed. Now, I could have gone out and done walks and all these other things, but, if I couldn't swim, I just didn't do anything. So, I'm telling on myself, again, I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to be honest. Hopefully that will be helpful for somebody. I know it's helpful for me, because when I keep secrets, that's where it does the most damage, is, keeping those secrets. So I'm, just trying to be really honest and talk about the truth for me. And so, now I start my second month. The other thing I will be committing to, or have committed to, is logging everything I eat, even if it's not something that I, quote unquote, should be eating. So that's one thing that I've not done, is that I'm tracking it if it's something I should be eating, but not tracking it if it's something that I shouldn't be. So, committing to tracking all the food that I'm consuming or liquids that I'm consuming. I will continue with my vitamins. So I have my little vitamin pouch here with 4 slots because I was told that I needed to take calcium 3 times a day, and I needed to take it separate from my multivitamin, which has iron in it. So I, will commit to continuing to take my vitamins, which I have been doing. I think there's been 2 days where I've missed some evening calcium pills. So that I will continue. The water, definitely getting in as much water as possible. I have been drinking coffee, and I've been drinking it longer or sooner than I should have been drinking it. But I drink it black, and so that's been my justification is that I don't put cream and sugar in it so I can have it sooner. And really what my doctor said was, as long as I'm consuming 64 ounces of water on a regular basis, I can have caffeine. So I've been drinking coffee probably since maybe the end of the first week, beginning of the second week, I believe. I don't know the exact date, but sooner than I think most people. I know there's people on the Facebook group I'm a part of that, they're weeks and weeks and weeks out and still haven't had any caffeine, and I feel badly for them. But, this has been my journey. Let's see. And then, making sure if I'm not swimming, if there's a day I'm not swimming, that I'm at least going out and doing a walk for 30 minutes. I go back to work on Monday. I did take the full 4 weeks off. My doctor said, hey, we're going to write the letter to let you be out for 4 weeks. You might as well take it. And I thought, sure, I'll take it. I'm not going to say no to a month off of work and while I'm paid, because I got paid for it. If I wasn't paid for it, I probably would have gone back to work after the first week, maybe the second week. But since I was getting paid 100%, I thought I would just enjoy the time off. So I wish I had some, words of wisdom, and that I wish I could have come on here and said that I dropped 30 pounds and everything was perfect, but that's just not who I am, and that's not my experience. And hopefully you will get some help. Maybe you'll find this helpful, that I've been honest about my experience and my journey and my decisions so far. And I will be posting again. I'm looking at probably waiting until my 2nd month to post, but if anything exciting happens in this in between, I will post a video in between. If you've got questions, comments, please feel free to post those in the comment section. And again, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.